Hello students, hope you are all fine at your homes. So today we are going to start with the chapter gravitation, second part, that is flotation. Okay, in this chapter, in this topic actually, the first thing that we are going to study is thirst, and secondly pressure. So two things are there, thirst and pressure. Thirst, what is thirst? First of all, we will understand thirst is nothing but the force in perpendicular direction, force acting on any object in perpendicular direction. Okay, so for example, this is any box, and if I apply a force from downward towards upward, or from this side or from this side, so these are all perpendicular directions. So directions of the force are from this side, any direction we can consider, but that should be perpendicular on the surface on which we are applying the force. So force acting on the perpendicular direction is known as thrust, and because it is a force, so its SI unit will be Newton, right, which is represented by capital N. Okay, then what is pressure? Pressure we have studied in our previous classes, in the lower classes. Pressure is nothing but force per unit area. So how to define it? Pressure is defined as force per unit area, force acting on any object per unit area. If we calculate how much force per unit area it is applying, so that is known as pressure. And instead of force, we can write down over here, this is the formula of pressure. So instead of force, we can write down thrust if the force is in perpendicular direction. Okay, so it can be equal to thrust upon area. Okay, so this becomes the formula for pressure, and this is the definition for pressure. This will be the definition for thrust. Okay, now what will be the SI unit of pressure that we have studied in the lower classes also? This is Pascal, represented by capital P and small a. So this is Pascal. Okay, so the difference between thrust and pressure that you understood now, and the definition and the SI unit and the formula. Okay, because it is a force in the perpendicular direction, the force is having a basic formula, so all those formulas will be applicable on thrust also. Here we are studying thrust. Why? Now, because we are going to study the flotation concept. Okay, so for flotation concept, we have to study that on liquids or on gases, how the objects are floating. In solids, there is no flotation concept. Objects float on the surface of liquids or gases, that we know. Okay, so for that concept to study, we need to understand that force applied by any liquid or gas, that is fluid, is in perpendicular direction. That is very important. So that kind of force which is acting in perpendicular direction is specifically named as thrust. Okay, so that is why we are studying it. Okay, now the concept of pressure can be understood little bit more deeply with the help of this formula. Formula is P is equals to force upon area, or thrust upon area. Area and pressure are inversely proportional here, we can see. Okay, so if they are inversely proportional to each other, that means if the area is more, then the pressure will be less, and if the area is less, then the pressure will be more. They are inversely proportional to each other. To understand this concept, various examples are given in your books. There is one example in the activity also that you can study. So the example of a thumb pin I have taken in your Zoom class, and the example of a knife also we can take. Okay, so I am just repeating that example of a pin, or if it is a thumb pin or drawing pin or an awl pin or a nail. If this is the surface into which we have to push the nail inside, so how do we apply force? We will apply force in this direction with the hammer or our thumb. Okay, so this will be your perpendicular direction. And what is the area in contact? Area in contact will be this much only a point. Okay, so that area is very small in this case because the nail is sharp, the pin is sharp. Okay, if the area in contact is small, the pressure exerted by this will be very large, and because of that large pressure it can go into the surface on which we want it to go. Okay, so in these kind of cases we can explain that how it goes very easily. Okay, and with the example of a sharp knife also we can explain this, that sharp knife can easily cut the vegetables very easily, because of the high pressure, as the area in contact is very less. Okay, similarly the opposite cases are also there. For example, in the case of person sitting or on a chair, and in the case of person standing on a chair. Okay, if not on the chair, on a cushion you can say. Okay, if on a cushion or a mattress, if we are standing, then our pressure will be more because our feet is having less area in contact with the surface of the mattress. And if we are sitting or if we are sleeping, then our area of contact with the body or the mattress will be more. In that cases, these kind of cases, the area in contact will be more and the pressure will be less. So we can see that when we are standing, the mattress goes inside, we are able to go deep inside our mattresses. And in case of mattresses, if there is a sand, okay, if there is a heap of sand, then our feet can go deep inside the sand and we are unable to walk on that sand. So these kind of examples are given in your book, so that can be explained with the help of the concept of pressure, right? So the one numerical is also given in your based on this concept, that is example 9.6 that you have to do. I have discussed it earlier also. So I think it is very simple, and we can discuss in the Zoom class if we are having a live class. If you are having a doubt over there, then only we will discuss. So we will continue with the topic right now, that concept of pressure extended to our fluids. This concept of pressure that I was telling you, that was in solids, pressure in solids. Okay, now we are moving on to the concept of pressure in fluids. Fluids are nothing but gases and liquids. Okay, so pressure in fluids are combinedly known, these two things are combinedly known as fluids, liquid as well as gas. We are having liquids as well as gas in the container only. We can take them in a container only. So when we observe these in a container, we have observed that they are they are liquids and gases. They are exerting pressure on the container walls. Okay, suppose this is a container and container walls are being exerted. These walls are being exerted with some force, with the liquid or the gas. Okay, whatever it is the situation. So this kind of pressure that we have to study in this chapter. Okay, so that is actually the pressure in the fluids. Why that pressure has been exerted? Because there must be some property of these liquid and gases. Okay, these fluids are having some property because of which they are exerting pressure. Okay, that property that we are going to study is known as buoyancy. So buoyancy is nothing but it is a property due to which it applies fluids applies force in upward direction to the objects immersed in it, immersed in them, you can say. Okay, what does it mean? It is a property due to which the fluids, these are the fluids, so fluids are applying upward force. What is the direction of force? The direction of force, suppose this is a box, so the direction of force is in upward direction. Okay, this upward direction force is having a particular name, and that is in the perpendicular direction. So this upward direction force, that is thrust, actually upward direction force known as thrust, is having a particular name that is called buoyant force because of the property of buoyancy. Okay, so that name is buoyant force. So all the fluids are having this property, and all the fluids applies this buoyant force on the objects, whatever objects are immersed into it. Immersed into it means, I think all of you understand the meaning of immersion. Immersion means going deep inside, और उसको किसी भी ऑब्जेक्ट को फ्लूइड के अंदर लेकर जाने के लिए. ठीक है, फ्लूइड के अंदर जब हम लेकर जाते हैं तो इट डिपेंड्स कि वो ऑब्जेक्ट फ्लोट करेगा या सिंक करेगा. तो फ्लोट करता है तो भी उस पर फोर्स लग रहा है, सिंक करने के केस में भी उस पर फोर्स लग रहा है, बट दोनों के केस में फोर्स का क्वांटिटी अलग अलग है, इसलिए वो फ्लोट या सिंक करेगा. दैट कंसेप्ट ऑल्सो वी विल स्टडी आफ्टर दिस टॉपिक. ओके, so what is this buoyancy that we have understood? And because of that property of buoyancy, buoyant force is acting in the upward direction. Okay, so what is buoyant force? How do we define buoyant force? Buoyant force is a force, it is a force acting on an object immersed in any fluid force acting in the upward direction. You can say, यहाँ पर arrow कर लीजिए, force acting in upward direction. Actually it is always in upward direction, that is important to specify. Force acting in upward direction on an object immersed in any fluid. Okay, so that force is also known as upthrust. Thrust means in the upward direction, and buoyant force it is very important to know buoyant force is also known as upthrust. ठीक है, it is important to know. Okay, the next topic we will cover up in the next video. I hope you understood it. Thank you.